So whenever I was in high school, brother, I was like 14, 15. I was a freshman, right? And in math 3, I would take forever to pack up my stuff. I'd be packing up my stuff so slow. Get my book just the right place in my backpack. My journal, make sure none of the pages of my homework was crumpled. And I'd pack up so slow because I knew Sierra was gonna walk through that door if I waited long enough. If I was slow enough to leave, because the class right after mine, Sierra had the same classroom 215 or whatever the fuck the classroom number was, right? So if I waited long enough, I'd be walking out the door as she was walking in. And I'd have the chance to say 2 fucking words to her. And I had a crush on this girl for years, man. And this was my version of Riz too, is whenever we were passing, I'd just be like, what's up? How are you? Did you do the homework? Bro, do you think that I was the guy that she was going home and talking to her friends about at night? That she was crushing over? No, absolutely not. Because how do you think those conversations went? Well, how did she respond? Good. Pretty aight. Yeah, I did the homework. There's no room for those conversations to go anywhere. And for years, my social life stayed like this. Because I just didn't know how to form relationships with people in a unique, engaging way. Even though I wanted to, right? I wanted to date other girls, right? I wanted to branch out and make new friends, but I literally couldn't just because I didn't know how. And fuck, man. I'm thinking about how sad that is, because if you know my story, right? If you've heard my story before in some of my other videos, you know that it got worse for me throughout high school. I started to believe that I just wasn't the kind of guy to talk to people. I just wasn't the kind of guy to make new friends because I was ugly or not charismatic. I wasn't a jock, or for whatever reason I assigned it to myself. I was like, I'm just not the kind of guy who gets what he wants out of life. And that was a shitty place to be. And it's somewhere that I hope that you never get to. So my goal for you is to create the best relationships of your life simply by giving you the keys to creating incredibly memorable conversations, so you never get to that point. So if you don't already know who I am, my name is Luke Grenoble, and I'm creating a gang of like-minded young men who are no longer settling for the monotony and depression of living a life with average social skills. If that sounds like something you want to be a part of, go ahead and hit subscribe right now. And our goal for this year, by the end of 2024, is to have 5,000 social celebrities, not people who just have all right conversations, not people who just have a friend group that they're settling for, right? Social fucking celebrities, bro. And one of the first steps to getting there is realizing that small talk is killing your social life, bro. It's killing it because there's no excitement in the conversations that you are having. They're boring. They're not memorable. So of course people don't come back to you to talk to you all the time, right? Because you are sticking to social scripts. And it's not your fault, bro. It's not your fault. You've literally grown up with these social scripts. Most people do, right? They grow up with what's socially acceptable all the time. Asking, how are you? What do you do? Right? But those questions are so fucking boring. Everyone has another social script to answer them. Pretty good. I'm all right. Literally think about how you answer the question, how are you? You answer it in the exact same way every fucking time, bro. Don't lie. You answer the exact same way. You don't genuinely tell people how you are because that's what a social script is. It's something that's so, you've done it so many times. You've grown up with it, been ingrained with it. It just comes out. What we want to do is kill that as much as possible, because when you learn to start opening people correctly, right, it gets them excited to speak to you. You literally make them feel better just by being around you. You have this aura around you because you are sparking dopamine in them with just conversation. You're creating a conversational roller coaster that you don't want to come down from, because I'm pulling out the sticky notes, bro. Once again. Look at that shit. I literally got my desk marks on this shit. But this is what your conversations look like right now, bro. They're boring. There's not these peaks and valleys, right? They just kind of go and go on and go on, and then they're done. This is what you want your shit to look like. So what do you notice about this? It goes up. It's exponential. It's fucking huge at the beginning, and it stays up there. There's conversational peaks and valleys, man. How do you get your conversations to look like a fucking roller coaster that people don't want to come off of? It starts with a fucking spark, bro. Now I'm going to get to the tactical things you can actually do. You can start off your conversations with a conversational spark. If you notice in this graph, right, there's a huge jump right here. What is that first huge jump? It's opening with something that creates novelty, right? Because novelty releases dopamine. It's something people don't hear all the time. Instead of opening with, hey, how are you? What if I said, tell me your thoughts on enchiladas? Right? Maybe it doesn't even have to be enchiladas, bro, but it's something. It's something different. Because even if people fucking hate enchiladas, bro, they're going to tell you about it. They're going to say, enchiladas aren't my bag, bro. I'm more of a burrito guy. It starts off with something different, and it wakes people up from this slog that you see people in every day when they're just walking around mouth breathing, bro, and they don't even realize, they don't realize they're alive. They go through conversations, and they don't even remember they had them. This gets people out of that state that they're in every day. And it keeps them on their conversational toes because they actually have to fucking think for a minute. Starting a conversation this way keeps the rest of your conversation on track to be fucking exciting. And it doesn't even have to be as off the wall as like thoughts on enchiladas. It can be something like, instead of asking people, how are you doing, bro? Or like, what do you do? I ask, what's the most exciting thing in your life right now? Or what's the best thing that's happened to you today? Because when you ask things like this, bro, people get to talk about themselves, right? They also get to talk about things that excite them, that are fun. You can literally steal those 2 lines from me. Steal them, bro. Eat them fucking up. That's what I hope that you do. But when you ask these things, you start to push hot topics. And that's the second thing you need to do. When you find a hot topic, something people are really interested in, push on it, right? You're going to realize this because people's eyebrows are going to go up. They're going to light up. You're going to see it in their face. They're going to lean in. They're going to get excited, speak quickly, because they're excited about talking to you. They're excited about speaking on this thing. If it's something they're talking about, ask more questions, because there's a reason they're excited about it. Find out why. This makes them feel good to talk to you. You also get to learn a shit ton about who this person authentically is, what they genuinely love. If it's something you're talking about and they're excited about, go into more detail, bro, because they obviously want to hear it. The next thing that you can do is remember people's names, bro. And this is basic as fuck advice, I know, but you don't fucking do it. You've heard over and over again, remember people's names, but you don't do it. You don't actually be using people's names in conversation like that. When you do, bro, this shit fucking changes, because when you do, people start to think, he cares about me. I was memorable in somehow, so he is memorable to me. Bro, if I meet a fucking Craig, I'm going to be sure to say, Craig, it's great to meet you. Because every time I do that, Craig feels fucking seen. This is how you want people to feel when they're around you. This is the easiest way that you can do it. It's just by remembering their name. So how do you actually start remembering their name? Because you've tried before and it just hasn't worked, right? You've tried, and every time you come up blank when you try and remember, or you say the wrong name and it's embarrassing. Make it into a game. The best way you can remember people's names is make it into a game. Every time you hear their name, there's 3 things that you do. First thing, I already mentioned, right? Say it back to them right away. Craig, it's great to meet you. I'm Luke. Because this lets you hear the word in your own voice. This gets your auditory learning going. Next, getting your visual learning going. Spell the name in your head. C-R-A-I-G, C-R-A-I-G. If that's even how you spell Craig, bro. I don't fucking know. But spell their name in your head and envision what it looks like. Craig, 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 Craig. Lastly, what you can do is associate their face, associate them with a Craig that you already know. If you know a Craig from 4th grade who played fucking basketball, bro, think of 4th grade basketball Craig playing basketball with this new Craig you just met. Now, not only do you have auditory, visual learning, you are tying it in with something you already know. You're not going to forget Craig, because now he's best friends with 4th grade basketball Craig. And 4th grade basketball Craig goes fucking hard, bro. These are the huge things that you can do to start having conversations that feel amazing, right? To be the most memorable guy in the room. And this is basic ass advice, bro. But the thing is, you haven't implemented this with purpose in your life. Most people haven't. 90% of people have not. And that's why having conversations with regular people is boring as fuck. Right? This is how you are going to stand out, is by nailing the fucking basics. So what I want you to do is take these 3 things, starting with a spark, pushing hot topics, remembering names. After this video, go out, purposefully practice one of them. It could be with your mom, with your brother. It can be someone you go out to outside and just say hi to a random stranger. Hey, what's your name? Craig, it's great to meet you. I'm Luke. It's easy, bro. But you have to start making them into habits. This isn't shit that I think about anymore. It's shit I just do. And I haven't had boring conversations in a long time. This is where I want you to get to. So take this action step. Go implement one of these things today and act now, brother. Become unstoppable.